Coburn. Man, he is, you got to give him credit, he's a deeply conservative senator from Oklahoma, and he's not playing. He's going to take a very emotional question from someone who's got a health care issue, a real one, not one that's made up from the town hall crazies, etc., as she's going to explain her husband has a real problem she needs to deal with. And Coburn's response is amazing in its callousness. I believe Rick Sanchez is going to explain this on CNN. Let's watch.
Senator Coburn, we need help. My husband has traumatic brain injury. His health insurance will not cover him to eat and drink. And what I need to know is, are you going to help him where he can eat and drink? We left the nursing home and they told us we're on our own. He left with the feeding tube. I've been working with him, but I'm not a speech pathologist, a professional that takes 6 years for a master's. And I'm trying to get him to eat and drink again, and this been so much.
Well, I think, first of all, yeah, we'll help. The first thing we'll do is see what we can do individually to help you through our office. But the other thing that's missing in this debate is us as neighbors helping people that need our help. We tend to... The idea that the government is the solution to our problems is a very inaccurate statement. Government...
Well, what's interesting about that is that Senator Coburn just essentially said the government is not the solution. But then you have to ask yourself, he just told her to come and see him. Isn't he the government? By the way, after helping her, what will he do about the other 46,999,000 Americans who don't have insurance, and the thousands upon thousands of Americans who say they do have insurance, but like her, they're not getting coverage?
Look, Sanchez is exactly right about that. And one, if his office does help, they are the government. That's the government helping. That's a great irony pointed out by Sanchez. Number two, neighbors? Really? You think if she went to her neighbors and said, hey, you know what? My husband's got a illness, and can you guys all help out? Can you give me $100? Can you give me $1,000? Can you give me $2,400? Might it happen? Yeah, it has happened before. I've seen, amazing stories on the internet or, reports from local neighborhood. Now, but think about this. Number one, most likely it won't. But let's say that it did happen. What happens the next time another neighbor has a problem and they need to raise tens of thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars? Okay, then all the neighbors chip in again. What happens when the third neighbor and the fourth neighbor and the eighth neighbor and the 12th neighbor have problems? Because everybody has health problems at some point, and a lot of times it's catastrophic. Do the neighbors keep giving money after money after? At what point do you think the neighbor says, you know what, I think I've given enough money to my neighbors here? Especially if they're Republican conservative neighbors who believe in throwing bootstraps at you. How much money do you think they're going to give you? Is that a rational way of doing health care in the country? Where you go with a tin cup to all your neighbors and say, oh, my husband has this problem, my wife, my daughter has this problem, can you please put a little bit in the tin cup? Are we going to become a nation of beggars where we go and we have a health care problem and nobody will take care of it? Our insurance won't cover us. The government apparently will not step in under any circumstances if you believe what Coburn believes. And then we have to go and say, please, please, please help me. And if you cry enough, that a senator might help you. But mainly he's going to tell you to go ahead and piss off. Because if you didn't get it, that's exactly what Coburn just said there. I can translate Coburn's message of, hey, the government's not the answer, go ask your neighbor. It's 2 words, and my friend Ed Reed knows all about it.
Hell no!
No, I am not going to help you is what Coburn said. Hey, your insurance kicked you out? Don't worry about it. Remember what Michael Steele said? Trust the corporations. The private corporations will do right. Oh, they didn't do right by you, and now you're in a world of trouble. Well, it's too bad you don't have a public option where you could choose to go with a government-run option, which couldn't possibly kick you off, because the government is bad and evil. So, as your husband suffers through all of that, remember, trust the private corporations. And if you're in real trouble, go beg your neighbors. Republican solutions. If you like, you like. If you don't like, don't go anywhere near it.